This essay is about traveling, overseas traveling. And, I don't want to go through but after I got out of graduate school, I studied in Scotland, traveled the summers before and after that year in Edinburgh, and went to every country in Western Europe except for Scandinavia. And then in the years since then, I've run tours, been on tours in Africa, in the Middle East, the Pacific Islands, Indochina, China, the subcontinent of India and Nepal, Greece, Turkey. Just all over the place. And I try to be as honest as I can with my students about the learning process. They're in college and they read textbooks about the subjects that we're studying. And that's one level of learning. But the gap between reading something in black and white and being there it is so vast. And I've written about the importance of travel numerous times. But it's in one class recently, I got carried away with something that I've written about George Eliot. It was believed by some people that she said this famous line that it's never too late to become what you might have been. And in reality, I don't know. Nobody can really prove who said that, even though it's been attributed to George Eliot. And I was going on about my students. Why am I teaching it when I'm 74 years old? I should have retired a decade ago. And the reason I'm still teaching is that I don't want my students to make the same mistake I did when I was younger. And one of the values of travel is that you can learn. And quite frankly, if this has to do with humanities, but if there's a choice between whether I learned the humanities from a textbook, history, art, literature, if I learned that from either a textbook or being someplace where that event occurred or where that person wrote that poem or whatever, I would choose the latter. If you haven't been outside of North America, it won't be easy for you to buy that. Period, new paragraph. And I was going on about what was said, was supposed to have been said by George Eliot. And it was said that she wrote it in Middlemarch, and I researched this for an article I wrote, and it's not in Middlemarch, and nobody can find where it's from or who wrote it. And I don't know. But I was going on and talking about it, and one of my students, her name is Antonia, and I got in a long, this is an online class, so we got in a long discussion. She posted something, I posted something, she replied, I replied. And this gal is one of the smartest kids in either of my classes this semester. And the weekly assignment is to write a essay and reply to 5 essays of other students. Antonia does an excellent essay and replies to 15 or more essays of other students. And I was discussing with her about the importance of travel, and students will tell me, or students, anybody will tell me, travel is expensive. It is. And in the essay I talk about, I have a car. The car is a 2009 Jetta with 200,000 miles on it. I want to go back to Myanmar, what used to be called Burma, around Christmas time this year. Airfare, hotels, meals, transportation in the country, tour guides. You add that all up, and you're going to come close to a third or more of what it cost me to buy a new Jetta. And so, I mean, I'm not rich. I'd love to have lots more money. But you have to make a decision which is important to you in your life about who you are. And what Elliot said is you're never too late to become what you might have been. And one of the ways to become what you might have been is through travel. And I say to my students, and I'm saying this in this essay, I'm saying it to you now in this video, travel is expensive. But it is too expensive not to travel. Because who you are is going to be based upon your educational ability. And your educational ability will be based upon not just textbooks, but being there, wherever the there is. So, to my students that I'm teaching now, and to the students I'll be teaching in the future who will get a link to this essay within the first couple of weeks of class, travel. Get outside of North America. Figure out what your ethnic background is. Go there. What did I do? I'm Scottish. First thing I did was go to Scotland. But once you go overseas and get the fever, man, it is. I would, I'd like to have all the money I spend on travel, but I wouldn't take that money and delete all the experiences and all the knowledge that I gained from that travel. It is too costly not to travel. Trust me. Take care, and thanks for watching and listening to this video and reading this essay.